Olá, rapaziada, como é que vocês estão? Espero que estejam bem. Bem, chegamos agora na reta final de Talesofarise. Tudo explicado praticamente. Vamos agora para Rehna e a nossa última dungeon. Será uma parte bem longa para dividir, então caprichem no petisco. Então, vamos lá. Prepara petisco bem reforçado para a bebida. Chama os amigos e bora se divertir. Vamos lá. Sair de deck talesof. Finalmente. Eu achei, assim, muito legal todos os diálogos. Assim, foi extenso pra caramba. Eu não imaginei que fosse demorar tanto. Eu não imaginei que a live ia até tanto assim.
Ah, Shion, just in the nick of time. Here, lend me a hand while I...
No!
What the... Oh, right. The
Filho da...
thorns. My bad.
No, I'm the one who should
Filho da...
apologize. I overreacted.
Again, Law? Can't you even go a minute without putting your foot in your mouth?
Seriously, it's fine. I'd rather that than people feeling like they're walking on eggshells around me. Besides, I'm the one who should be vigilant about not touching you guys, not the other way around.
Actually, I've been meaning to ask. Not being able to touch people, does it ever get lonely sometimes?
I guess I never really thought about it in those terms. It was either accept it for what it was or come undone. Before long, it was just part of my everyday reality. I think I even forgot there was another way to live. Which isn't to say I didn't feel alone. I did. Always.
So numb to your
Triste.
reality, you couldn't even recognize it as loneliness? I don't know how you managed.
It's fine. I know I'm not alone anymore.
But I can't even touch you. No way of lending you a shoulder when you're down? Even Alphen.
I appreciate the concern. Until I get rid of these thorns, I guess I'll have to put up with it just a little longer. But not forever. Alphen promised me that. Maybe it'll be soon, maybe it won't be. But either way, the day will come. And I'll be ready when it does.
Yeah, just hang in there. One day, we'll share a big warm hug. You'll see. I promise.
Não, esse jogo ele tem umas coisas assim tão emocionantes.
Is the
fazem
Rena's armor
chorar.
really our only hope against the Great Spirit? There has to be another way, right?
Shion's Fire Master Core was able to suppress astral energy to prevent it from gaining sentience, right? Couldn't we make use of that somehow?
I'm not sure. In small doses, maybe. But with the amount of energy we're talking about here.
Back in Calaglia, the Blazing Sword was able to take in a whole spirit vessel's worth of energy. If it has the capacity to manage that, it can do this, right?
Except after it absorbed the energy, it ended up releasing it all moments later, remember? Let's not forget, it nearly killed you. Besides, this is the Great Spirit we're talking about, not a paltry vessel. Even if I could use the Master Core, your body wouldn't be able to take the strain of channeling that much energy.
Hevrect 35 didn't mention it, and it did not seem the type to skimp on details. So assuming it's even possible, the chances are slim to none.
You're probably right.
Então, assim, basicamente nossa única esperança é a alma de Rehna. Opa. Então, vamos lá. Agora vai.
It would appear that our Helganquil host really has fulfilled its end of the bargain.
You know what that means. Time to go to Rehna.
I guess this means we should give that warp drive a spin.
Esse bagulho tá enorme. Tá enorme. E querendo ou não, tipo, isso vai ficar assim, uma flor gigante no meio Ou vai se transformar em alguma coisa, sei lá. Nossa. Que lugar tenebroso. Não tem como nada viver aí.
There's nothing here. This weird ocean we're surrounded by just stretches out everywhere. Is this really where the Helganquil come from?
I don't sense even a trace of astral energy. This world is dead.
Eu não disse que esse planeta estava
Then
morto,
this
por isso
must
que eles
be the
estavam
hollowing.
sugando?
You mean to tell me this whole world, the entire ocean is that stuff?
And it's covering everything. The entire planet.
This is what the Great Spirit does. After it depleted this planet of every last speck of astral energy, it went after Dana.
So arresting. This world of doom.
Back in its day, Rehna was probably just as vibrant as Dana is. But after being robbed of its astral energy for so long, those days are gone and past. This is all that will remain.
Por isso que
So the
os
Great Spirit
Hellplanos
took
estão
everything.
em extinção.
It stole energy not just from living beings, but the land, the sea, everything.
And it bound the Helganquil in servitude until their whole world was nothing but this. And by the looks of it, that's how it remains to this day. A world of death and emptiness.
With nothing left here to consume, the Great Spirit turned its sights on Dana, looking for another host.
You're saying if we don't stop it, this is what Dana's going to look like?
We can be sure that even these few remaining remnants of Renan life will not be spared in the end.
If the oblivion and darkness both Shion and Naori saw comes to pass, nothing will survive. It looks like we can climb down from there. Let's take a look.
Vamos lá. Nossa, tem um mínimo do mínimo de estrutura. Mínimo de coisa de pé. Imagina
So
o
this is
quão...
Rehna. This is where everything began. Yet it's a dead world?
I won't let Dana suffer the same fate.
Chega a ser um absurdo.
A hollowed ocean as far as the eye can see. What do you think would happen if we fell in?
What do you mean, what would happen? You'd drown, wouldn't you?
Come to think of it, I don't believe I've heard of someone ever trying. Perhaps you'd like the glory of being the first?
Nah, I'll pass.
This is essentially a world-sized Renan graveyard. Are you proposing to disturb the dead slumber just to satisfy your
Nossa.
curiosity, Law?
No, because I said I passed.
Taking an interest is understandable, but let's not forget where we are. This place deserves our respect.
Looks like we're not going to be hearing the end of this one for a while.
You'd think I was already snorkeling in it or something. So the idea is to seal the Great Spirit inside the Renaissance using the Sovereign and Maiden's power. But just how do we do that exactly?
I'm guessing it won't be as easy as holding a spirit channeling ceremony at our leisure.
I already had wielded astral energy once 3 centuries ago. As for suppressing her thorns, Shion's had a lifetime's experience. The problem isn't just our enemy's strength, it's that it's sentient too. And you can bet anything you like it's not going to just sit back and let us destroy it.
In other words, we need to find some way to weaken it in advance. The Great Spirit, that is.
Back when Shion's thorns flew out of control, we were able to deal with them directly. If this is their host, they should be even more corporeal here.
If that's the case, it should make them easier to attack at least. And if we can manage to divert enough energy away from the spirit's core, even temporarily,
we might just be able to weaken it enough to steal the Renis Alma, which we can then use to seal it away forever. It won't be easy, but it's our only shot. Time to buckle up.
Sim.
Question for you. Let's say, knock on wood, everything turns out for the best.
What'll the world be like? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of this, do you really think everything will be that different?
Eu acho que
A
Rehna não
lot
se
will have to
recupera.
change, that's for sure. The
Ou vai
world will
explodir
have to
tudo.
adjust to so much. My only worry is if those changes turn out to be merely skin deep.
What do you mean?
It's well and good putting an end to Renin rule. But if it just turns the tables, it's all for naught.
That's true. Just as bad if the Danans started pressing their own.
Renins, Danans, astral art users, mages. The world is full of labels used to divide and separate people.
If only we could see differences like that for what they are. No different to someone having a musical talent or being good with their hands. Not differences so much as characteristics.
It will take someone in power to set an example. But with time, people will follow. And then, perhaps one day...
There will no longer be any need for the example. It will have become second nature.
That's where we come in. We can set the example. Imagine it. A world where magic and astral arts are used to help people. Where that's the norm rather than the exception.
Yeah, you're right, Rinwell. Why wait for somebody else? We can show them ourselves.
Então, bora lá. Tem alguma coisa ali. E tem alguma coisa ali. Alguma coisa ali. Aqui não tem nada. Eu acho que tá desativado. Aqui também tá desativado. Eu acho que deve ser atalhos. O negócio deve ser grande, hein? Esse negócio vai ser grande. 2 atalhos?
Looks like we've worked into that pit of astral energy.
Começou.
Helganquil!
Guess they don't need their Red Woman disguises anymore.
Wait, can you understand us?
It's no use. We're not going to get through to them.
So they really are being controlled. In that case, we've got no choice.
I knew there was something off here!
They're not pulling punches. We had no choice but to beat them at their own game.
Rising Water!
Glacial Spear!
They got me flanked!
Freeze Lancer!
Crumble!
Wind Astral Energy!
Rising Water! Strike! Here I come!
Here I go!
You're
Here's a
mine!
healing arm!
Swallow Blade!
First aid! Don't mind if I do!
I'll finish you here now! Slash!
Photon Slash!
You're mine! Swallow Blade! Burn in hell!
Meu Deus, esses biinhos. As rodinhas, motosserra, sei lá que é isso. Chato pra caramba.
Looking good! Slash! No, you can't! Demon Blade!
Here, let me help!
Now you see what I can do! Okay, here I go!
Water, hear my call!
Tá dando um escuro. Caraca! Para de tacar em coisa.
Indeed it does. I'll keep pushing to be better as well.
Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone! Here I go! I'm healed!
Rising Water! You're mine!
Here it goes!
Watch this!
Not in your dreams! Do it!
Inferno Punch!
Mega Ray! Lightning Orb! Gemini Ultra! Dragon Annihilation!
Deixa mais um pouquinho.
Illuminate the tower!
Rising Water!
Now! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Alphen.
I can't forgive them for what they've done, but I hate killing them. They don't even know why they're fighting. How does that even make them any different from the Danan slaves?
Perhaps. However, if we don't make a choice, the guilt of not doing anything will be that much worse.
Yeah, I know. I hate for it to be like this. But if it happens again, you won't find me hesitating to act.
I wonder if we're going to get attacked again.
If we lose heart now, this whole mission is over. We have to stay the course.
Caraca, começou a dar XP pra caramba agora.
Little help!
Rising weapon!
Spear!
Armor won't save you!
This one's mine! These ones can run rings around us! I'm saving this one! Rise and shine! Lightning to them!
Prepare to be sealed, though fleet of foot. Actually, that sound is more appropriate.
Ai, ai, ai.
Swallow blade! Soda! Take this! You're on! I'm not done! Prepare to be sealed! You're mine! In a bind!
Ah, morre logo. Bicho chato.
Watch this! You're mine!
Not on my watch! Far enough! Now, Radiant!
Certainly! In an instant! Impact frost!
Chato.
Hold up! Is this as valuable as I think it is?
I wonder what Helganquil civilization was like at its zenith.
I can imagine that'd be something you'd take an interest in.
There's no question it must have been advanced, like none either world has ever seen. We could surely stand to learn a thing or two from such a people.
I get that you're itching to delve into its history, but we've got bigger fish to fry right now.
Put a pin in it, and you can do all the research you want when you retire.
I can think of worse things than a retirement dedicated to research. As for whether Rehna is amenable to an aging specimen...
It's a little early to be giving it serious thought just yet.
A man can dream, though. A man can dream.
Oh, we didn't say there's anything wrong with dreaming.
In your case, Dohalim, dreams have a habit of spiraling into something else.
You'll need to stay with us for now, though. You're too helpful to let retire.
Why do I feel this is less of a compliment and more of an ultimatum?
Just a friendly suggestion.
Vamos ver.
Is this a dead end?
It appears this whole room functions as an elevator. That apparatus
Caraca.
there is likely what's used to control it.
Esse elevador dá pra... Ah, tá zoando.
Less worry, more action. Concentrate. Glacial Spear. Here's
Rising
the
weapon! Save you!
These things really get on my nerves.
Demon
Holy
Fire!
let them mark
Fine
me.
freak! Why can't they just sit still?
Sierra, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done.
Do it!
More sucrose?
Keep close and take them down.
Prepare to be sealed!
Do it! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
There you go, Alphen.
It's time
Nossa, ainda tem mais um.
I'm right beside you. Holy land!
Can't get out of this!
One more time! Do it!
Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade!
Enemies incoming!
Caraca! Tá vindo muito.
Astral energy!
Say no more.
Not a chance! Mirage! Demon Tank!
Reload!
Here I come!
Now!
Totally! In an instant! Impact Frost!
Illuminator!
Olá! Como você está? Sim, agora tem 100.
Say no more.
Uhul! Mano, para de vir. Não para de vir.
We barely managed to turn that back. Keep on careful not to overdo it.
I'm sorry.
Perhaps I'll put more faith in
Caraca! Eu tô ficando com dor na mão.
Freeze!
Meu Deus.
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
Já já a gente tá evoluído.
Even in such a harsh environment as this.
Ainda bem que eu farmei pra
You think they're
caramba.
native to Rehna? Or could they be Zoogles somehow?
Whatever they are, they're dangerous. Watch yourselves around them.
Porque olha, não tá muito fácil essa última dungeon, não.
You think that pit stretches all the way to Rehna's core?
If that's true, and if we go down, we should find the Great Spirit at the bottom.
We could get there even faster if we simply jump down instead.
You sound alarmingly serious when you say that.
Talférico. Dá pra descer aqui? Dá. O que será que tem aqui? Nossa, já tem um grandão ali já. Nossa, não dá pra saber. Eu vou até o último ver o que tem. Sai de mim, não vem aqui perto não.
These structures
pra
don't
lá.
look like anything built by the Rennans, or even what we saw in the Forbidden Zone.
Perhaps this
O
is the
lugar deve
true
ser
architectural
tenebroso.
style of the Helganquil. Or perhaps the opposite, given their situation.
You mean like how some places favor building stuff with stone,
Nossa.
while others rely on wood?
That's an interesting way of looking at it. I'll have to inquire with Head Rank 35 about it sometime.
Puta merda.
Get lost! This one's mine!
E vamos lá.
Anything in the world.
Nicely done. Those thorns.
I'm not letting them get in our way.
Vamos ver o que dá pra gente pegar aqui. Capote
Thus our
santo.
strength.
Opa. Equipamento. Já sobe bastante já.
Yet grows.
Ah, a gente vai ter que bater nele.
Get lost!
Now you see what I can do.
Confiscated!
It can hide itself? Amazing! I'm just getting started!
Amazing.
This fist has got your name on him!
Raging Cascade! Sealed!
Ah, tá aqui atrás.
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! You're mine! I'm not done!
To the shadow!
Meu Deus.
If it's in the sky, it's mine!
Ignite!
Dance in the wind! Sleep now!
In a bind!
Outstanding form!
Now you see what I can do!
I'm going to need to use all the power That's my cue!
Shut him down.
Ah, que bosta.
Something's wrong with me.
You just say the word and I'm there!
I can't believe it's coming.
All good things!
Fica quieto aí.
Will this help? This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
Essa dungeon vai ser foda. Tá vendo?
Looks like it could be worth
Tá
something.
usando, só deu 300. Ah, vai se ferrar. Hora de camaleão. Ué. Ah, aqui sai aqui. Beleza. De onde a gente estava, saiu aqui. Agora a gente precisa ver o que que tem ali. Você vai ficar quieto aí. Me irrita. Vai pegar aquele item aí. Guloseima pesada. Opa! Quebra maldição. Coisa. Vamos lá, vamos bater nesses caras.
I could do this all day. I'm on it.
In an instant!
Impact Club!
There!
Oh, Violet win.
I'll tear you apart! Demon Fang! You're on!
Astral energy!
Say no more!
I've been doing really great lately.
Vamos, filho. Transporta logo. Aqui tem item. Então vamos lá.
That equipment should come in
Pulseira
handy.
da sorte.
Hey! Hey, I just realized something!
Is this about dinner last night? I didn't realize those ingredients were off.
What? No! I mean, wait, you fed us rotten food?
Rinwell, the point.
Oh, yeah, right. So I was thinking about those armored soldiers we've seen. There are regular Renans inside them, right?
Yeah, they're designed to make whoever's wearing them stronger. At least, I think that's the idea.
Right. So it kind of begs the question then, why are they made so huge?
I don't know, makes them more intimidating, I guess? Or maybe all that tech wizardry inside takes up a lot of space.
You don't think it's weird how the armored soldiers are the exact same height as the Helganquil?
Can't say I'd ever noticed it till now. And?
Connect
What?
the dots, Law!
Okay, let me get this straight. You think the armored suits might have originally been designed to allow Renans to work alongside the Helganquil?
Huh. But if that's true, what would that mean?
It would mean... just that, I guess. But still, don't you think it's kind of interesting?
Not hugely. Hey, Kisara, well, I've got you. What's on tonight's menu? Because I was thinking maybe meat.
Get him, Hoodle.
What did I do?
Oh, now you want to listen. Keep pecking, Hoodle.
Ow! Seriously, what the hell?
Meu Deus.
You know, guys, when you think about it, we've taken out a lot of Zoogles. Like, a whole lot.
You can say that again. If one thing's for certain in this world, it's that wherever we go, we'll always end up bumping into them.
Isn't it weird that they're still so plentiful? You don't think the Renans have, like, a ranch where they breed them, do you?
Certainly in all of my years, I've never heard of them constructing such a massive facility on Dana, let alone up in Lenegis.
The only thing I can think of, then, is that the feral ones must be reproducing on their own.
There's also no organized effort on our part to hunt them down, so it's difficult to fully exterminate them.
Exterminate them? Whoa, don't you think that's maybe a little harsh?
What do you mean?
Zeugles originally used to be living creatures native to Dana and Rehna, right? Being genetically modified isn't their fault.
You're right. Zeugles were only created because of us Renans. We altered the original creatures to suit our own ends.
First, people made Zeugles, and then we let them go. And now we're trying to kill them because they're a threat. They really have only seen the very worst, huh?
I hope we find a way to be able to live side by side with them one day.
It's a nice thought, but they attack towns and cities. What else are we supposed to do?
Aside from the strays that have gone wild, it's worth remembering that Renans are able to keep them somewhat under control.
If we had distinct territories that didn't overlap, that might reduce the danger they pose.
Well, I guess when you look at it that way, maybe people and
Depois
Zeugles aren't
pensam
so
o que
different
fazer com
after
os
all.
bichos. Vamos, vamos. Eu tenho um puta de um monstro gigante pra matar.
Go no further! This one's mine!
See what I can do!
Reload! Saving you!
Rising weapon!
Meu Deus! Au! Meu Deus, sai de mim!
Charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well I'm here to stop. Do it! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Nossa, só isso XP, vai se ferrar.
We're stronger together than we are apart.
Nossa. Eu tô com pouco PC.
It'll be a breeze. Get in, get out.
Glacier Fire! Here's the evil!
Now or never.
This one's mine! Holy land!
Rising weapon! Mirage!
Water! Hear my call!
Take this.
Mirage!
Watch it.
Take this!
Get ready to go! Sleep now!
Denied.
Do it! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
There you go, Elfin!
It's time to end this battle!
I'm right beside you!
Burn in hell!
I'll crush you. Lightning reflexes. Tenebrous claw.
Nossa.
Is there anything more magnificent than the musculature of a warrior? Perhaps it is... in search of the...
A gente tá aqui. Não. Nossa. Ah, a gente veio pra cá, a gente tá aqui. Aí aqui tem um outro lugar, aqui tem um outro lugar, aqui tem um outro lugar. Caraca.
It's perfect beauty that I myself am drawn into
Com
battle.
ela. Não, 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 não. Meu Deus, tem um outro grandão aqui. Caraca. Mano, só tem uns trabucos gigantescos. Tem uns trabucos gigantescos. Arnes raro. Não é você, não é você. Quem que é? Ah, é você. Caraca. Aumenta 130 de defesa aí na cidade. Ele tá muito bom. Ah, vou ter que passar por ele.
Out of our way!
Shattering pieces!
I'll
Smash you! Rising Wyvern! Rising Wyvern!
Here I come!
Essa dungeon vai ser foda. Meu Deus.
It's too fast! Stand back! I'll trip it up! Burn in hell! I'll tear you apart! Rising Wyvern! It's Talesof! Here I come!
Marksman handle this!
No further! Now I'm in the groove! Swallow Blade!
There you go! Don't let up!
Swallow Blade!
I never miss! Illuminate the dark!
Take it!
Armor won't
save you!
Holy Red!
Demon Plague! I'm on it!
Mega Ray!
Vamos, filho.
Stay inside me! Yours to be let free!
Thunder Field! Dance in the
Swallow
wind!
Blade!
Sweet
Demon Plague!
Get on fire!
Can't get out of this! I'm on it!
Aí.
Commander of Heaven! Phoenix Cyclone!
Meu Deus.
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
Nossa, outro gigantesco. Esse eu não... consegui passar por ele. Mas eu só quero pegar os obrigatórios, assim. Meu... Espera que vai dar... Vocês vão dar um item. Ai, vamos lá. Vamos lá.
An opponent like this should be easy. They got me flying!
So much for sitting this fight out.
That wouldn't be a complete
No, steady!
As if the normal fleet of cronies aren't disgusting enough.
Rising Wyvern! Got fired!
I'm done! Let a marksman handle it!
All yours!
Now!
You picked the wrong fight!
Green Blazer! Wind Blazer!
Now
The
I'm in the
sky is
groove!
mine!
We did it!
As impressive as always.
Here I hope that was improved.
No, I mean, you're even better than ever.
I've never seen Keon actually look flustered.
Rising Wyvern! You're on! You're mine! Demon Plague! Okay, here I go!
We barely managed to turn that battle.
You don't need to sound surprised.
Oh.
Put more faith in you.
Well, I certainly won't argue.
Here! Where are you going?
This one keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me!
Okay, I'll leave it to you!
Meu Deus.
No further!
Amazing.
Now armor won't save you!
Mirage! Try this! Infernal
Now
Fire!
I'm in the groove!
Demon Plague! Demon Plague!
All good things come to
Swallow
an end.
Blade! Demon Plague!
Nossa, eu quase bati meu recorde
We've all got
de 90 acertos.
Yes, ma'am.
Kisara! Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Everyone's still in one piece?
Capa
Hey,
elemental.
new equip-
É. Tá dando muito equipamento. Dando muito equipamento de defesa. Essas coisinhas malditas.
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Além do caceta.
I can carve through here!
Don't give up!
Now I'm in the
Great,
groove!
we can save this! Prime and ready! This one's mine!
Take this! It was nice
Not in your dreams!
I'll work you here I come! Slash! Demon Fang! Chrono Blade! In a vine!
Dance in the wind!
Here I come! Why'd you heal me?
Meu Deus.
Rising Viper! You're out! That's enough! Watch this!
Now I can let loose.
First strike!
Rising Viper!
Rolling Hurricane! Stardust!
Just what I prefer! Thanks, Kitara!
Aê, não vai ficar pulando não.
Armor is all mine! Stardust! Now you see what I can do! Blow away! I'm on it!
Vai, 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 vai,
No complaints here! Rising Viper! Kitara!
Commander of Vengeance!
Phoenix Cyclone!
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
O controle deve estar falando. Não foi pra isso que eu fui comprado. Eu espero. Ah, meu Deus, será já? Vamos lá. Já. É boss.
What do you think this place was for?
Puta merda.
What the hell? Are they asleep?
No. They appear to be well preserved. However, they are all dead.
Dead? So this is a mass grave?
Nossa.
Looks that way. However, none of them appear to be Helganquil.
Bear in mind that Renans were originally Danans, who were remade and sent to live on Lenegus. Knowing that, they would have needed a place to perform the procedure somewhere.
Puta merda.
And that place is here, I assume.
So what you're saying is that all of these are Danon, or rather, Renan bodies?
Most likely, yes. It must have been abandoned for one reason or another.
There are so many of them. They were all taken away, but never given the chance to wake.
Que horror. Puta que pariu. Nossa.
What is that thing?
Something we have to fight if we want to get across, it seems.
Olha
Be
o
careful.
tamanho
It's
dessa
huge.
merda. Ah. Então,
What is
Bora
with
lá.
all of you lumbering beasts lately?
It's no ordinary suit. That much is damn sure.
Watch yourself. All bets are off when it comes to this thing.
Here's a healing art!
Swallow blade!
There you go.
Can't get out of
Like
this!
me again.
Rising Wyvern!
Burning
Won't save you.
Demon Fang!
Nossa, linda. Chama essa coisa.
His head is sweet point?
We'll need to bring it down somehow to hit it.
In that case, let's start with the one in the middle.
water has been
Now, Inventory! Here I come!
burning strike! Glacier
Demon Fang!
here's the go! Lightning
Meu Deus do céu.
Demon Fang! You're mine! Demon Fang!
I can do this all day.
Take this!
Anything normal, all mine.
Burn!
Raging
Rising Wyvern!
Now you see what I can do. Roll now.
Thanks, Shion.
Be careful not to overdo it.
I'm sorry. I'll do better.
Standing form!
Tem esse laranjinha, deve ser o núcleo, né?
Where are you going?
Nossa, 110, 113, 120.
Demon Fang!
I'm going to need you.
Look sharp!
Aê, metade da vida dele já foi.
Will this help?
Demon Fang!
I owe you, Shion. Healing is what my artist do best. All mine can do is cause havoc and destruction.
Aê,
Rising Wyvern!
viva perfeitinha.
In a bind.
They're not playing around.
I'm ready. Time for one more.
Far enough. That's your art. Here I come. Hear my call. Shining perigosa. Here I go. One at a time.
You picked the wrong fight!
Meu Deus.
Holy land.
Rising Wyvern! Stay away from my
Aí, última vida. Agora eu acho que essa merda começa a apelar.
But I'll never back down! Rising Wyvern!
I'll bring you back from death to life.
Rising Wyvern!
Here's a healing art.
Demon Fang!
Looks like this one's mine.
Looks like hell it is!
Looks like you got this one's have all the power of my healing arts to accomplish it.
Can't get out of this.
Resurrect holy land.
Uma hora acaba. Falta 42 mil de vida.
You'll pay for that! I'm not done! Burn!
I'll bring you back from death to this. Oh, violent darting wind.
Vamos lá que a gente consegue.
I owe you one!
Here, let me help.
Oh, meu Deus do céu.
Illuminate the dark.
Rising Wyvern!
See what I can do.
Illuminate the
Falta pouquinho, 21 de vida.
Take this! Demon Fang!
That'll bring you down.
Rising Wyvern!
14 mil de vida, vamos lá.
In a bind.
12 mil de vida, 10 mil de vida.
It's too much! All mine!
I've let you all down.
Ai, 8 mil de vida.
Rising Wyvern! Rising Wyvern! Mirage!
1 mil de vida.
Kisara! Commander of Heaven! Phoenix Cyclops!
The hell was that thing?
Probably something that was made here and somehow managed to survive, even after all this time. Not that there's any way of knowing now.
What's wrong?
Oh, I just suddenly found myself contemplating what might have happened to the sovereigns that were meant to emerge from the crown contests.
What do you mean?
You see, the winners of the past crown contests were all strong astral arts practitioners. Furthermore, that enemy we just fought appeared to be composed of several human bodies. It was certainly nothing one would find in nature.
You're saying those were the remains of the winners? That they forgot who they once were?
I'm merely saying it's a possibility.
That's absolutely gruesome. How long had the Helganquil been at this?
It was Rehna's great spirit that made them do all of this. Anything to get its astral energy.
We're not gonna jump down, right?
I certainly hope not.
After hearing Dohul's suggestion, I'm honestly not sure what to say.
I assure you all, I was merely stating the possibility.
Então, vamos lá. Será que tem alguma coisa aqui do lado? Não. Tem nada.
I thought there'd be more dirt and rocks and stuff underneath the hollowed ocean, but it's all artificial.
I would imagine they're remnants left behind by the Helganquil, seeing as there's little actual land remaining.
It's incredible. Do you think it stretches all the way down to the center of the planet?
Hey, these guys built Lenegus, remember? They probably did this in a weekend.
If they had the power to create things like this, did they really only use those immense capabilities to serve the Great Spirit? Or rather, was that the only use the Great Spirit let them use their capabilities for?
We're back in that other room? Did the teleporter fail or something?
Something feels off about it.
Look!
I wonder how the Renans avoided being mind-controlled like the Helganquil. Do you think it might have something to do with the fact that they were originally Danans?
I'd say it's likely. Which is pretty ironic when you think about it.
Ironic?
The Renans have committed grave injustices against the Danans. But it was all of their own volition, not because they were being controlled. Now, it turns out they themselves were once Danans too.
Which must mean that the root of their evil isn't the Great Spirit, but something inherent in all of us. Our free will.
Now hang on, though. It was that same free will that allowed Xion and Dohalim to choose to fight alongside us. Without it, we wouldn't have been able to beat hatred and forge all those connections we've made. Free will is what saved us, right?
Law's entirely right. In any case, it certainly can't hurt to look on the bright side every now and then.
Yeah. Where there's hope, there's a way.
What do you say?
He said, without a doubt.
Então, parece que aqui a gente vai ter um pontozinho de viagem. Então, se a gente vai precisando dar uma... Então, esse é um dos atalhos lá da entrada. Vamos que vamos.
So, looks like the Helganquil have been engineering Zeugles too. Why doesn't that surprise me at this point?
The creatures we've been encountering here have been a little different to what we're used to fighting, but I'm pretty sure they're Zeugles too.
Do you think they were engineered using creatures native to the area?
Indeed. However, based on the current circumstances, I would guess these Zeugles are all that's left of the planet's fauna now.
Triste.
You mean, there might have been native owl species here once upon a time too?
Tadinho do Ruto.
I guess this is the flip side of that pathway we were walking on just a little while ago.
This is crazy. Who knew such amazing technology existed?
Everything's topsy-turvy and that's all.
Nossa. Dúvida astral. Chama essa desgraça.
So much for sitting this fight out.
Quem que renomeia essas...
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me!
Good! I'll leave it to you!
Take this! Light astral energy!
You require a head.
Slash! Demon Slash! Carve through armor! Take this! It's on! Demon Slash! Swallow Gang! Ignite! Talent Storm!
Holy Land!
Demon Slash!
I never miss!
Swallow Blade! Demon Tag!
Blow away! Annihilation!
Demon Tag! It's finished!
Aí, quebramos o
I'll take it
núcleo.
from here. Let's see how you handle this! Deus Roar! By the power of this
Hurricane! Try harder! Demon Tag! Stay away from my friends!
Hear me, flame of fury!
Should have left with me.
Caraca,
Take this!
suporte.
Swallow Blade!
Freeze Lancer! Still have to fight left in me.
Demon Tag!
Ready?
Swallow Blade!
Now you see what I can do.
Burn! Rising Light!
That hit the spot.
Nossa.
I'm sorry to be a bother.
We've all got enough.
Yes, ma'am.
Do it! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Hey, anyone else think this might be a touch too... Too dangerous?
Ridwell's right. We should
Ah, PC também já era. Meu Deus, isso aqui vai acabar com todos os nossos recursos.
fall back to regroup and try again later.
Nossa. Os espinhos.
What are those? They look like Shion's thorns, and with flowers too.
Not real ones, though. They're just like that flower growing out of Rehna.
We must be getting close to the Great Spirit now.
Hey, Rinwell, what was that thing you said about how a little bit of Dana's Great Spirit is inside all of us?
Right. That's why Dana's Great Spirit is so much more diluted. Weak, even. Whether it was a choice so it didn't overpower others, or just the way it is anyone's guess.
If that's true, then wouldn't it mean Dana's will could never form under natural conditions?
Yeah, sounds like that's probably the case.
So if Dana exists within all of us, then what if something occurred that brought everyone's hearts and minds together as one? That unity could potentially act as Dana's will.
You mean if everybody was, like, thinking the exact same thing at the exact same time? Come on, there's no way we could pull that off.
I know it's a long shot, but it might work.
Let's assume that's even possible for a second. Would it even be enough to fight back against Rehna's Great Spirit?
If nothing else, it might be an option if we can't use the Renaissance.
Things are different here than on the surface.
That shows how deeply we've ventured into Rehna.
So here's a question. We came all this way to Rehna on the assumption the Renaissance here, right?
E se não tiver?
Don't say it, Law.
Mas vai tá.
Yeah, but I'm just saying...
I said don't.
I can understand why you might be concerned, Law. But you need to remember that there are people it affects more directly than you.
Mas vai tá aqui.
Oh, sorry.
We've managed to make it this far believing. Losing faith now won't do us any good. We're better off focusing our anxiety elsewhere.
Such as?
The Great Spirit. If Hevracht 35's to be believed, our enemy won't just be handing over the Renis Alma to us. At least, not without a fight.
Not only that, but that same enemy just gulped down more than an entire world's worth of astral energy.
Point taken. It may be strange to say, but when I'm fighting, or at least know what needs to
Sabe
be
que
done,
tá me
it helps
lembrando?
me a lot. I don't doubt myself as much. So thanks, both of you.
Tá me lembrando Sephiroth. Quando ele absorve toda a energia do planeta. Ah, isso é tudo opcional? Ah, eu peguei um sem querer.
In a bind?
Where are you going? Come on, now! Here's a healing arc! It looks like you guys recovered! Target down! In the wind! Don't mind if I do!
Vai.
I have no limits.
I'll stop its charge!
Thanks, Kitara!
You require a hand.
In a bind? I could do this all day.
Here's the evil!
Rising Viper!
Dance in the wind!
This is bad, right?
Yes, Alvin! Very bad!
I don't feel so good.
Breaking strong!
Meu Deus, essa bicha é muito chata.
Thanks, Shion.
Be careful not to overdo it.
I'm sorry.
Illuminate the dark!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Merda.
Well then,
Eles
let's keep
esbarrando
moving.
sem querer. Caraca. Um monte de bicho aéreo. Um grandão aqui. Caraca, esse lugar é... Nossa, esse lugar só tem trabuco. É, esse lugar só tem trabuco mesmo. Preguiça astral, ódio astral, fúria astral.
Now I'm real mad.
This one's mine!
Pesky airborne scoundrel.
Sounds like a job for yours truly!
Far enough. Eat this.
That's my cue!
Nossa.
I'll crush you. Lightning reflexes. Tenebrous claw.
I'm going to need to use my healing arc to accomplish this. I'll heal you all!
Mano, menos um nada, o outro não morreu. Esse bicho sobrevive até especial. Ai, 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 ai.
Anything in armor is all mine. Take Bolero. I'll smash you.
Deus.
Raging Cascade healing arc seal!
Ah,
This ends
menos um.
now!
Consider yourself finished.
There you go, Elfin!
It's time to end this battle.
I'm right beside you!
Take this.
Dance in the wind!
You picked the wrong fight.
Nossa, tem um
Demon Fang.
bicho maldito aqui.
Demon Fang. You're finished. Sword Blade. You're mine. I'm not done. Not a chance.
Não vale minha especial.
Now you see what I can do.
Sword Blade.
Take this. I'm on it.
Time to let it rip.
Can do.
Rising Viper. Swallow Blade.
Light astral energy!
Any more, it all burn out.
Dance in the wind! Air thrust! Go down,
Nossa.
You picked the wrong fight. Consider yourself finished.
Tá boa. Caraca.
Hey, I'm pretty lucky.
Wow.
Brasão
You've got to be
místico.
lucky to find this stuff.
Indeed. I can tell it's quite the find.
Sai. Eu vou só nos obrigatórios. Opa! Vou só nos obrigatórios, porque o negócio tá tenso. Nível inferior. Segundo andar. Nossa, mais.
Anything in armor is all mine.
Here's what I don't do with airborne targets. I can't heal you forever. Don't mind if I do.
Flying freaks.
Meu Deus.
More Seon. Can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done.
An astral edge.
That's my cue.
Shut him down. The flame inside me yearns to be let free. It's over. Take this. Eat this. Ignite.
This ends
Vai lá, menos um, menos um,
Consider
menos um.
yourself finished.
There you go, Elfin.
It's time to end this battle.
I'm right beside you. Enemies incoming.
Then we'll take them down.
No one can survive me. Annihilation. Don't mind if I do. Do it. Bridwell. Frozen.
Hammer!
More incoming. I'm ready.
Caraca, não para de vir.
Raging cascade. Where are you going? Let's get you all tucked away.
Here I come.
Where are you going? This ends now.
Consider yourself finished. More? Not a chance. Mirage! Swallow blade! Demon fang!
Do it. Dance in the wind.
Look sharp! Lightning tiger blade! See that? That training's paying off! Rising Wyvern! Rising not a chance!
Radiant. Here.
Mirage dance! Rising Wyvern! Now we're live!
Hurricane.
Ignite!
We barely managed to turn that battle. You don't need to sound surprised. Perhaps I'll put more thinking to that. I certainly won't argue.
You are in different shape.
As soon as I'm done here, come help out.
How could a girl ever say no?
Not a chance! Demon
As pedras gigantes estão atacando a gente.
I'm not done! Slash! Demon fang!
These fists have got your name on them.
It's over! Demon fang! You're mine! Demon fang! You're not done!
One that'll bring you down.
Demon fang! More?
Don't mind if I do.
Nossa, que isso? Ah, mais. Nossa, não para de vir.
You and I both. Do it! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished! More?
Pierce the evil!
Caraca, mais.
Is this it?
Don't give up! You dance in the wind!
Toma, meu Deus.
Now we're not not done yet! Demon fang!
Bring you down.
Acabou tudo.
Hey! Poodle's quivering! I think we're about to be real lucky.
Nossa. Deixa eu só ver como que tá a situação aqui. Caótica, caraca, 32 mil já. Tá bom. Nossa, nosso PC também já era. Como tem 2 atalhos, eu estou achando que vai ter 2 boss antes do final. A gente vai ter que ir ou pra cá ou pra cá. Nossa, olha esse trabuco. Ah, tem um dragão ali. Tem um item, deve ser boa coisa.
This is amazing.
You always get excited when you find something good.
We should hurry and get this stuff processed.
Consegui passar por eles, já tô feliz. Ah, não quero passar por essa merda. E ele vem pra cima de mim. Ó, meu filho, sobe. Tem que ir pra lá, então provavelmente a gente vai conseguir por aqui. Caraca, quanto cristal! Caraca, tem muito cristal. Dá pra fazer muita coisa boa. Tem que dar um olé, puta que pariu. Ai. Pelo menos é um. Isso é um chato. O que a gente não lutou na live passada, a gente tá lutando agora. Meu Deus.
I really owe you. A charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop it.
I don't even know the word defeat.
Take this!
Ready to
I
go!
have it
Lightning
planned!
orb!
No further!
Lightning condensed!
Roll now!
I'm going to need to use all the power of my healing arts to
Meu Deus.
All good things come to an end.
see what my box can do. Here I come!
Demon Plague!
Wind dance with the wind!
Demon Plague!
Feel!
I'll do it! Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Nice. No scratches on my shield or my armor.
The Zoogles here are putting up a real fight.
That just goes to show how important this
É
place
onde a
is.
gente precisava ir.
Or perhaps they simply thrived
Maravilha.
freely here under such harsh conditions.
I don't get...
The astral energy here is so dense. It's like trying to walk through water.
I know the Great Spirit's will is in the center of Rehna, but with the world in this state, the entire planet has become its body, right? So doesn't that mean we're already inside it?
I would say that is horrifyingly correct. After all, the further we climb, the denser the astral energy becomes.
What's the matter, Rinwell? Are you not feeling all right?
No, it's nothing like that. It just feels like the energy here is a little more intense than it was before.
You mean Rehna's energy?
Yeah, it's like when I made contact with Dana's will in the wedge. It's almost as though I can understand what Rehna's will is thinking.
But Rehna's will is supposed to be a lot stronger. Aren't we risking the Great Spirit controlling us if we interact with it directly?
I don't think we have to worry about that. Rehna's will is only supposed to control true Renans, like the Helganquil. If we can discern what the Great Spirit is thinking too, we might learn something, a weakness. But just to be safe, let me contact it alone.
Are you insane? Rinwell, you're gonna...
Rinwell!
Meu Deus. Ela é louca. Ela é completamente louca. Menininha louquinha.
There was only meant to be one world.
Ah, agora vai começar a explicar.
And your goal is to make them one. Is this fear?
Não era pra ser dois.
What just happened?
Are you all right? Rinwell?
Agora estamos começando a ter a resposta do...
No,
A gente
I'm fine.
precisava
I think
pra fechar
What
tudo.
were you thinking? You could have gotten yourself killed!
He's right. You had us all terrified, Rinwell.
I'm sorry. I really, really am. But I know now. I know how the Great Spirit thinks. I know what it wants, how it feels. Rehna's Great Spirit wants to complete the world.
What's that supposed to mean? Are you saying it's trying to make something?
Yes, exactly. Originally, Dana and Rehna were meant to be one world. But that never happened. They've stayed separated, and the Great Spirit wants to finish the process.
What do you mean, one world? How is that even possible?
I don't know, but its will is clear. That's what the Great Spirit is trying to accomplish. The only problem is that since Rehna's energy isn't evenly spread like Dana's, it seems like it'll vanish before that happens naturally.
So it's trying to absorb Dana while it still can, so that it can force the two planets to unite. Is that what you're saying?
The Great Spirit is scared. But it's not scared the way a rational person would be. It's more raw and undiluted, like just pure fear.
Like an animal, acting out of instinct. Although admittedly, an animal would be easier to communicate with. At the very least, I have my doubts that it recognizes us as sentient beings with a reason for coming here. Earth, water, fire. and wind energy exist in both worlds, but only darkness and light can be found within Rehna and Dana, respectively. The
Era pra
Rena's
ser tudo a
Alma, as
mesma
far as
coisa.
we know, the only host capable of harvesting the astral energy, is composed of all 6. Knowing all that, Rinwell's findings do sound plausible.
That sounds a lot like Shion's thorns, doesn't it? The whole reason the Great Spirit is trying to unite Dana and Rehna into one world is in order to save itself. And if her thorns are part of the Great Spirit, then they must also be trying to save themselves?
Alphen, what is it?
We thought the only way to free your thorns was for you to die. Yet despite that, they seem to be doing everything in their power to stop that from happening to you. Something wasn't adding up. But then I just realized something. If the Great Spirit doesn't want to die, then neither would your thorns. Those same emotions, that fear, that determination, and its energy must have been the same thing that was keeping you alive. You were its vessel.
In that case, is that why her thorns caused so much pain to anyone who touched her? Because they were trying to protect themselves?
Agora deu pra entender melhor.
If that's all true, then... well, it's more than a little ironic.
The Great Spirit merely expresses its desires. I imagine it was the Helganquil who were likely tasked with putting together and implementing an actual plan.
Shion.
I'm okay. We need to hurry and clean this mess up before it gets out of hand.
Still, even if the current state of the world is wrong like you said, does that really make everything okay?
If the world had been whole from the start, as it should have been, there'd be no Dana and no Rehna, no masters or slaves, no lords, no crown contest, maybe just peace.
Agora deu pra entender. Agora deu pra entender.
To think, all this started because of the Great Spirit's desire to keep living. The only reason it craves energy is because it's dying from starvation. When you think about it like that, maybe the things it's done aren't so strange after all.
If Rehna had been more like Dana, things would have worked out a whole lot better.
It's like Hevrecht 35 told us. The Danan and Renan spirits are meant to be completely different beings.
Rehna's energy amassing in one place led to its developing a powerful will. But that also made it crave energy, sapping Rehna dry until it perished.
Whereas Dana's energy is dispersed, meaning its will never developed to the same extent. And without that hunger, Dana the planet was spared.
As for which is correct, well, I'm not sure it's our place to even say. Still, I can't help but think it reminds me a lot of the dichotomy of the human condition.
Dichotomy? What do you mean?
Those who know not satisfaction are driven to keep devouring without limit. But those who are content with their lot in life rarely fulfill their potential. I imagine it's likely that the larger Rehna's Great Spirit grew, the more and more powerful its hunger also became.
Everything in moderation. When all's said and done, maybe that's the hardest thing for people to learn.
Bem, nossa saga durou bem. Pelo que a gente tá vendo, essa dungeon tá com bastante inimigo forte, com bastante vida e resistente. Então, vamos continuar no próximo episódio a descer. Enquanto a gente já sabe aqueles últimos pedaços que ficaram faltando, o porquê a Rehna conseguiu descobrir que no princípio era para ter um mundo só, mas acabou tendo 2. O espírito quer unir os 2, só que de uma maneira distorcida. Então, no próximo episódio, vamos continuar por esse caminho para tentar derrotá-lo, o grande espírito. Se você gostou, deixa aquele like, comentário, se inscreve no canal e ative o sininho para os próximos episódios. E muito obrigado!